All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Daybreak Live. My name's Krissi. I'm with Positively Osceola, and today we are so excited to have Dustin Bronson on, the big boss from Silver Spurs Riding Club. We're going to be talking all about kind of the heritage of Osceola County, the Silver Spurs Riding Club, Silver Spurs Rodeo, Monster Bulls, everything involving the Silver Spurs Riding Club. So we are so excited to have him on. And honestly, Positively Osceola just brings news that informs, impacts, and inspires. And when we do episodes of Daybreak Live, we chat with people who are local in the community, who are positive, and who are making a difference in some way. And that's what we think Dustin is. So we are so excited to have you on. If you are watching live, do me a favor, pop it in the comments. Just literally say good morning, say hi to Dustin, say hi to me. Let me know what y'all are doing this weekend. It's Saturday, January 22nd, which means the month is almost done. Is that not crazy? I feel like we just celebrated the first. So here we are. Let's make it official. Let's get into the video, and we'll meet Dustin in just a moment. Okay. All right. Well, again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Daybreak Live. My name's Krissi, and everybody, please give a very warm hand to this gentleman. This is Dustin Bronson, the big boss from Silver Spurs Riding Club. So thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. This is exciting. I've never talked to a big boss before, so this is fun for me too. I'm probably the worst person to talk to about the rodeo, about the riding club, but I love learning the history of it, and this is so fascinating to me because it's so new. So let's get into this. First of all, Dustin, how long have you been involved in the Silver Spurs Riding Club?
Since I was a little kid,
Really?
I've always been around my dad, and I used to help my dad and my grandfather feed the stock back when I was little. And at that time, we used to keep all the stock out at there where the arena is now. It was the old arena, and it had a big pasture out there. They'd bring the bulls and the horses in, and we would go feed them before the rodeo. And so I've always been I always worked on helping with the rodeo.
So this is something that has been passed down generations of your family, right?
Right,
And as far as I know, you also have two boys.
right.
And how old are they?
They're 10 and 12.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So did you bring them out with the last time we had the rodeo recently?
Yes.
Like
Yeah, a lot of people like that. Whenever they introduced me as Big Boss at the rodeo, I had the boys walk into the arena with me, and so a lot of people like that. They introduced them also, and that just shows that it's really a family event. You know, that's passed down from generations. And my grandfather was Big Boss, and my uncle was also Big Boss, and my dad's always been a big help with the rodeo, and my mom. So it's always like a family affair.
Wow, that is so neat. So you're just passing it on from generation to generation. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, cool. So I have some questions for you that I'd love to ask. The first one is the Silver Spurs Riding Club, which hosts the Monster Bulls on February 12th and the Silver Spurs Rodeo on February 18th. It's been in and around Osceola County for a very long time. So for those who don't know who don't know much about the club, which is like me, what it stands for, right? Tell us, what is it, what it does, and what it stands for.
But one of the cool things is a group of ranchers started the Silver Spurs Riding Club back in the 1940s, and they just had a love for horses and riding, so they got together and started doing what we call the quadrille, and that's also what my kids do. And they started doing the quadrille, and then it turned into having rodeos. And with the rodeos, I think the first rodeo they supported the war going on, and so all the tickets that were sold, they sent money for the war effort. And so it's always been a volunteer organization, and they've always given back to the community with the proceeds that are made from the rodeo. And the Silver Spurs is awesome because it's one of the only rodeos in the United States that raises our own stock. So we raise our own bucking bulls and own horses, own bucking horses. So that's really neat for us to have our own animals at the rodeo performing as well.
Oh my gosh. So you must have tons and tons of land to do that. Is that right?
Right.
Where are y'all located?
Well, the main arena is in Kissimmee, and the property that we have, the main arena we used to own, and we sold it to the county. And with those proceeds, we bought property down in Kenansville, Florida, and raised all of our animals down there. It's a little over 1,000 acres,
Whoa.
and it has a nice covered arena down there. And we have a bunch of events down there also. They have junior rodeos, high school rodeos, team ropings, and just different events down there. They're having a barrel racing school right now, and we just had the Coca-Cola Cowboy and Lifetime Achievement dinner last night,
What?
and we gave out awards to the members that have been there for a long time, and that's what we do throughout the year is we choose the members that have donated a lot of their time and effort into helping out with the rodeo, and we pick usually a couple and then like an individual. So the guys get a new cowboy hat and a plaque and a buckle, and the women get
Yeah.
like gift prizes too. So it's really nice to give back to them also for all their help.
Oh my gosh, that is so neat. I had no idea that this was such a big um like part of people's lives. I feel so ignorant. But okay, so how does it feel knowing that this club and this has basically just been in and a part of your life, and like how does it feel knowing that it's been an integral part of your family's history?
It's exciting. I know growing up with my dad helping out, I wasn't. I don't know if I was old enough to see my Uncle Charlie be Big Boss, but when my grandfather was Big Boss, I see pictures and stuff of all that. And then he was also one of the stock contractors. And so he went out to Las Vegas when they took some stock out there back in the 80s, I believe it was. And I still have a jacket that he got from that. So it's really cool to have all those memories and stuff with family history and helping out with the Spurs.
Oh, for sure. And now you're passing it on to your boys. So how
Right.
do they feel about the rodeo? Are they do they do it because they love it? Is it just a part of the family time? Like tell me more about how they feel.
Yeah, they do it because they love it. And, it's just always been a part of what I do. And I guess them growing up, they started riding horses at a young age and started doing the quadrille. And honestly, I do team roping, so it's kind of an expensive event. And I tried to get them to play in baseball and football and to kind of get them away from the rodeo scene. But I knew it one day they would come back to it because that's always what I've done. When they were little, we used to go to ropings every weekend, and we've always helped out at Silver Spurs. And then what first was untying calves, and then I got to where I was riding a horse in the rodeo, and then they always wanted to go help me. And that's one neat thing too. Usually in this February rodeo, we have so many contestants that we have an event that's called the Slack, and that's where all the people that can't perform during the performance because there's not enough time for the rodeo, they perform in like Friday morning. So my kids are able to go help me in Slack. We push the steers and the calves out of the arena, and they just love it. They're getting into team roping themselves, and so my older son Canton, who's 12, he's healing and doing pretty good, and my younger son Siler is heading. And that's what I told myself too back when I was roping a lot. Is it just got kind of hard with having both the kids and me. They were having to go watch me rope, and so I told my wife like, hey, we just need to slow down, and then whenever everybody gets old enough where we can all go as a family, then we'll do it like that. So that's what we're doing now. My wife ropes a little bit, and my kids rope. And another cool thing about Silver Spurs is that's actually where I met my wife. I met her there at the February rodeo, and she was Miss Rodeo Florida back in 2008.
Oh
So
my
that's
gosh,
when we met.
that's so romantic.
And then another funny story is in June. I had saw her a couple times throughout then, but then in June at the rodeo, she was going to warm up her horse, and I like was following her, trying to be able to talk to her and ask her to go out on a date. And she knew that my horse wouldn't go across the concrete, so she walked across the concrete to avoid me. And I guess she didn't want to have a boyfriend to interfere with her Miss Rodeo Florida year, and so she walked across the concrete and was stayed away from me. And then when she came back, I was nervous, so I said, "Hey, do you want? My name's Dustin. I know we met before. Do you want to go on a date?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." I was like, "Okay, cool." And I walked away. I never got her number or nothing. So then her cousin was one that was helping me untie calves, and she told him, and then he said that don't, or she told him not to give me her number. So eventually that weekend it all worked out, and we started dating, and then she's couldn't ever leave me ever since.
Okay, so you're telling me that you said, "Hey, my name's Dustin." You didn't get her number or anything.
I forgot. I got nervous.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. All right, sorry, back to the questions. So it's obvious that with the extreme growth in Osceola County, that the second fastest growing county in the state, the Silver Spurs Rodeo is seeing that growth as well. So is it exciting to see so many new families at the rodeo? Like
It is actually.
experiencing the excitement and the heritage of the rodeo for the very first time?
Yes, it is. And we have a lot of friends that have never seen the rodeo. And going back to the baseball and football, some of our family friends that met there, and the kids got to be good friends with their kids, and we would invite them to the rodeo, and they had never been. And so they thought they've actually, now that we invited them, they come every year. Some of them actually help us do stuff at the rodeo, so they volunteer their time now too. But it's really cool to see the people that haven't been to rodeo, how much they go and they enjoy it. The rodeo is really uh, it's just a different event, like going to football games and different things like that. It's different. I love that the rodeo, we open up with a prayer and then sing the national anthem, and it's so patriotic. And that's what a lot of them have said. They really enjoy it. The fans love it. So that's it. It's and some of my other friends from high school. I didn't actually go to high school in this area. I went over in Lake County.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've invited them to the rodeo, and they've been coming quite a bit too. So they bring their friends. So it is neat to see the county growth and how much the different variety of people come to the rodeo now. And as far as we know, like, everybody loves it. The stories that they post about the rodeo, they just love going and seeing animals. And a lot of people love to watch the little girls run barrels. So we
Yeah.
try to do that. And then we have the calf scramble also for the kids. So you can bring your kids out and get in the calf. They could compete and try to grab the ribbon off the calf's tail and try not to get run over.
I have so much to learn, I swear. And so I'm a part of that. Like, I want to be able to see everything for the first time and get into it. So I'm definitely going to be there. And you better say hello to me when I'm there. So
I look, yeah.
okay, so the Silver Spurs Riding Club is an A501c3 nonprofit. You were mentioning that all the money goes to what did you say again?
All the proceeds that we make go to different organizations. We help give back to the community.
Wow.
And I know, like, we do some things we give them back to, like the breast cancer research and the guardian ad litem. And then we also do a scholarship program. And then along with our rodeo this year in February, we have the fairs going on. So the kids, not also, only do they have the rides, but with the fair that have the 4-H show. So the kids show sheep, hogs, and steers. And some of the kids do citrus trees and goats and chickens and stuff like that. But they have a sale over there at the fair, and we go help support the kids too. So we help either buy a hog or a sheep or a steer, or give money like add-ons to kids. So that's one thing that our money goes to, is helping the kids in organization and helping give back to the community with different events.
That is so cool. Okay, so what would you say then is your favorite rodeo event and why?
Uh, my favorite event would have to be team roping, because that's what I compete in.
Okay.
But my favorite one to watch is definitely bull riding. There's a lot of action in the bull riding, and I've always loved that.
I have this, it makes me so nervous. Like, how do you all watch it without getting like, well, I guess that's the point, isn't it? You get excited and it
Yeah, that's
makes
the
your heart
point. I get
flutter.
excited to see the bulls. Yeah, the bulls buck, and you never want anybody to get hurt, but you just love to see the bulls buck, and the riders try to stay on and ride. And the bull riding's always been exciting. And I think that bull riding is really what draws the crowd to the rodeo. I know they have different events that people like to watch too, but the bull riding's always been an exciting event. And I think that's one thing about the monster bulls is It's different than our rodeo because it's all bull riding. It's just we have 3 rounds of bull riding and then the finals, and so there's a bunch of bull riding, and we have most of the bulls there, if not all of them, are from our Silver Spurs bulls. I know there's a few people within the county that have a few bulls that they raise, and we let them bring them in too to showcase them. But that is one of the neat things, like I was saying about Silver Spurs, is raising our own stock. We're able to have that event with all of our own animals, where a lot of other rodeos have to hire other like outside contractors, stock
Right.
contractors, to bring in the animals. So
Yeah.
that Monster Bulls is it's a really fun time.
That's so neat. Okay, so what does it mean to be a big boss, and how has your year been as a big boss?
I feel like my year's been pretty good. Like I know I'm very thankful that we're not as impacted right now with COVID as we were the previous years. That was kind of stressful.
Yep.
But I feel like overall my year's been fairly easy. It's it's not been too complicated. I know some years there are things going on that big bosses have to deal with, and I haven't faced too many issues yet. So it's been pretty good, and it's just been fun. You know, people. I know they just look at you different when you're big boss, and I like at the rodeo in October. I'd walk around and visit with people, and they just know that you're big boss. I guess kind of from Positively Osceola and other people that I'm doing interviews with. They see that on Facebook or
Yep.
wherever they see it at, and they just it's just really neat. They greet you in a different way. So it's nice being big boss, and it is with a tradition with my grandfather, my uncle being in this, awesome to carry it on. And then my kids also, when they get older, they want to be on the board of directors and then be big boss one day also. So that's really neat.
That is so cool. You're literally like just giving yourself a legacy and your whole family. That's so neat.
Right.
So, can you tell us a little bit more about the Monster Bulls night on February 12th? Like how is it mainly different than the other ones in the following weekend?
Well, it's mainly different just because Monster Bulls is just all bull riding.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll have like the girls come run barrels, the junior girls come run barrels just to kind of break it up between the regular round and the short round. But it's all bull riding, and then our February rodeo has all the events. They have the bareback, the steer wrestling, team roping, calf roping, barrel racing, and bull riding. And so that's they have that February rodeo, the 18th, 19th, and 20th has all the events, and the 12th is just the bull riding. So it's fun to come watch that.
Gotcha. Okay. And then on the Saturday before, on the 19th in downtown St. Cloud, the Silver Spurs Parade will be back. And I hear it's going to ride into St. Cloud. So tell us a little bit about the parade, and then tell us about the day before for the rodeo on the 18th.
Yeah, the parade. Honestly, I didn't get to make it last year because the slack I was talking about during the rodeo was during the parade time, so they changed it this year so more people could make it. So I'm
Yay!
really excited to be able to go ride in the parade. And my kids also helped me last year for slack, so they didn't make it, so they were upset. But what happens is they have a lot of floats, so different businesses get to come advertise their stuff and drive down the road and be in the parade. And then the kids are in quadrille. They go ride in the parade also. So and then there's other people that ride horses along in the street for the parade. And I will be in the back following up all the kids, making sure they're not being naughty.
Yeah, as the big boss, that means you're the big boss, right?
I guess so.
Cool. All right, so we've got so much planned. We've got the Monster Bowls. You have the Silver Spurs Rodeo. You've got the parade. I mean, the whole
Oh,
weekend
I
is
wanted
going to
to
be amazing.
let me add one more thing about the
Of
parade.
course.
You asked me about the day before. The day before is a really neat day. Also, the county years ago made that a school holiday because a lot of the ranchers needed their kids and stuff out of school to help out put on the rodeo. So that's Osceola County gets rodeo day, so all the kids get out of school, and also that day we have where the kids get in free. So if the kids are in school, they get in free. Always kids 10 under get in free, but any kid in school Friday gets in free because that's rodeo day, and it helps support the community. And so I thought that was a neat thing that the ranchers did back in the day, and needing their kids to come help out, kind of like up north when they need help with farming. They
Right.
take off some time from school, but now this is rodeo day, so the kids get to take off school that day and go help out and put the rodeo on.
That is so cool. I didn't know any of that. I feel so
Yeah,
ignorant to all of
and
this. I'm learning so
it's a
much.
tradition that's carried. Yeah, that's a tradition that's carried on for a lot of years. I mean, there's not as many. There's more kids now in the organization than there was back in the day, just because there's more people. But
Right.
I don't think a lot of kids know why they have rodeo day in the county, and that's why the ranchers used to have their kids to help out, and it continued on. So that's a really cool tradition.
That is a cool tradition, and it's so educational. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Is there anything else that you want to share with the audience of the people who might come to see the rodeo or who you'd like to come see? What's like your final thoughts for people?
I'd like everybody to come see the rodeo. Our, like you said, with the community growing and getting bigger, I feel like our crowd's gotten bigger every year. But it's always nice for the crowd to come out and help support the rodeo, and then in turn it helps us support the community. And I think with the different nationalities coming in the town, they haven't seen rodeo. Once they see it, they really love it. So yeah, everybody come out and support the rodeo. It's Monster Bulls is February the 12th, Saturday night, and the rodeo's Friday, Saturday at 7:30, February 18th and 19th, and Sunday, February 20th at 2 o'clock. And
Perfect.
also one other thing that we do and helping with the community is we have a special rodeo. It's never really not open to the public, but the special rodeo is for kids that are have special needs, whether they're in a wheelchair or just have special needs, and have they come there, and we have different events set up so they can either like ride a bull or ride a horse or rope a dummy. And so we all go volunteer our time to help those kids like have their own little rodeo Saturday, yeah, Sunday morning.
Wow, that's so special. Thank you so much for sharing all that information. Again, all the things that I didn't know. This is so cool. Thank you for sharing all that. I love that you're sharing um, a legacy with your family and just literally changing the rodeo and changing Osceola County for the better. So thanks for joining us today, Dustin. It's been an honor.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. All right, everyone. Well, you heard it here. This was Dustin, the big boss from Silver Spurs Riding Club. We are going to be celebrating and having fun together from February 12th all the way until the 18th or the 20th. What'd you say?
20th.
20th. Okay.
Yeah.
So lots of fun things to do, lots of things that we're going to learn and experience together with the Silver Spurs Riding Club. So we hope that you all come out and see us, and make sure you say hi to Dustin, the big boss himself, and his boys, right? Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday for another episode of Good Morning Osceola. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, whichever platform you'd like. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.